So as a final step, we're going to create 2 more servers and basically add them to the environment. And this will complete our lab environment with 3 servers. One of them will be the domain controller, one of them will be the application front end, and one of them will be the application backend to what we will need to do, and 2 clients that can navigate between all those machines. So right now I'm going to create another step before that, and this is a step that is optional, but it's something that every good environment needs to have. And that's basically creating a redirection. So when we add a new machine, it adds to the computer by default, and we would like to have maybe a better way to do it or a more secure way to do it, because computers by default has no policy or any kind of security measures in place. So what we'd like to do is create an organizational unit called new hosts. So what we need to do in order for us to redirect the traffic is to use a command called redir CMP, which means redirect computer, and then we're going to give it the path. So basically OU equals new host, which is new OU we created, and then you just need to specify with a semicolon DC equals, and then lab project, and then another DC equals local. And this is basically the notation of saying we want you to use the OU of new host under the domain control, the domain environment of lab project.local. It just does not know how to use a dot, so you need to break it to 2 words with commas. And once we're going to run this command, it says redirection was successful, and we're going to continue with the last step of creating 2 application servers from a clone. And I'm going to use this application server that I've installed beforehand and basically do the same clone process as before. I'm not gonna show you it again. I'm just gonna show you that once we do the clone, I'm going to create a full clone, and that's pretty much what I want to do. And we're gonna call it app server 1. And I'm going to call the other one backend server 1, and I'm going to stop the video here and continue once they're both cloned. So as you can see, I've finished cloning 2 machines, one called app server 1 and one backend server 1. And what I'm going to do is do the same process as before. I'm going to rename those machines. So I'm going to go to this machine. And it's already called application server 1, but let's, for good measure, called app server 1. And we'll give it the restart, and from the backend server 1, we'll rename it as well. Once the machine is rebooted, we want to add it to the domain. So in order to do it, we first need to adjust the IP setting. There is a static IP already in place here from the previous experiment I've done, but we just want to match it. So we gave the domain controller the IP of 250. We'll give the front end the IP of 200. Give it the right subnet. Give the right default gateway of 2.1. And basically just match it so the domain controller will be the DNS server. And this will allow us to communicate with the domain controller. Let's validate that it's working. So let's ping 2250, and as you can see, we're able to reach the domain controller. The next step is to add it to the domain. And basically just lab project.local, specify the credentials. And if you're wondering how it knows how to find the domain controller server, it uses the SRV records and the DNS, and that maps it to the right server to join. And now we need to reboot it. I'm going to do the same for the other machine to the backend server, but it's pretty much going to be the same, and I'm just going to give it an IP of +1 to what I gave to the application server. So I'm going to pause this video here, and we'll continue in the next one.